And we're back. Hey, I haven't done one of these in a while. I haven't done a live stream on this platform in a while. And there's a specific reason for that because I'm kind of recalibrating and I wanted to give you guys a glimpse behind the curtain about what I'm doing. Um, if you've been paying attention, the last couple of videos I cut, and this is going to be clipped into a video. So I'm doing it live, but then I'm also going to be making this into an actual video. Um, Here's the thing. I've decided that I want to build my content machine in public. Okay. I have my school community called the Content to Cash Machine, which is basically teaching business owners the basics of recording themselves and creating content. And, for the first part, we're going to start with video. And it's going to teach you how to practice, how to get better on camera. And there's resources I'm going to be putting in there. I do have an entire class that I built that's in there, and you're going to start getting access to some of my templates and stuff that I use to make content and also market things. And so that's what's going to be in the community. If you're interested in that, jump in. The only expectation I have is that you actually record something. Like, I want you to create your content. Don't just join to just lurk. You got to be active and create stuff, because that's the only way you're going to see traction moving forward. And so that's what it is. But here's the idea. The title of this is I'm building my content machine in public, and here's what's working so far. And so today we're going to kind of go over the last couple of weeks about what I've changed about how I create and deliver content on my platforms, and specifically on YouTube, what's changed so far. Okay. Cool. All right. Instagram for some reason is down. I don't know why, but I couldn't get my Instagram up and running. So we're just going to be on these platforms. So here's the thing. I've been calling this the Content to Cash Machine, but really it's just me testing to see if I could turn my videos into a viable business. I've done it for other people. I've monetized very, very small and limited audiences for other businesses. Now I'm turning the camera on myself and seeing if this is something that works for me. I know it can, but I want to demonstrate it so that you guys can kind of follow along with what I'm doing and maybe build out your own engine. Okay. So a couple weeks in, here's what's working and here's what's not. And here's what I'm trying next. Okay. I'm going to pull up my analytics from my Stan store, and I'm going to pull up some of my, I'm going to talk through some of my YouTube analytics, if you don't mind. Now I really just launched my Stan store. Like, this is still something that's still very brand new. And so I'm still working on the conversion side of things, and nor do I expect people to immediately convert. But that being said, I'll show you some of the analytics from what I got from my Stan store. For those that don't know what a Stan store is basically a landing page that, it's kind of like a link tree or whatnot, except you can kind of make it your digital storefront for products and services. Okay. So in the last 14 days, we're talking the last 14 days, the last couple of weeks. These are my analytics. I've had 16 store visits, and typically they'll go to my Content to Cash Machine YouTube. They'll go there. I do have a bunch of templates that I used over 10 years running a marketing agency. And so it's called the Unstuck Marketing Department Toolkit. People are drifting into that, but they're hitting the Stan store. A lot of the traffic is actually internal, which is a bonus for the platform. If this is something that you're interested in trying, I would suggest this, because it looks like people are discovering me through the platform itself. 2 views from YouTube, 1 view from Facebook, 1 view from LinkedIn. Like I said, these numbers aren't mind blowing yet, and I don't expect them to be. Everybody starts somewhere. Okay. We can do our all time stuff. Let's see. No, we'll just do the last month, because I just started it 2 weeks ago. So, hey, it is what it is. I'm not blown away, but it's better than nothing. And that's really what I'm looking at. Everybody has to start somewhere. I think a lot of times when we do these kind of videos, or when you see creators making these kind of videos, nobody wants to show what it looks like at the beginning. Everybody is trying to show you what their highlight reel is. I'm showing you my outtakes. Okay. And so, yeah, we'll see what happens. um, hopefully, there's enough value conveyed in this that people are going to want to take me up on some of the stuff I'm presenting. Like I said, I've done the marketing agency thing for about 10 years now. And I want to pivot out of it. I seriously do. Um, Good morning, bro. Thanks for tuning in. And here's the thing. I'm really trying to show everybody, hey, this is what I've got going. This is what I'm growing in the background. And maybe you can use me as a blueprint if you're trying to build out your content machine. Okay. So, like I said, these are my Stand Store analytics. If you give me a second, I can pull up some of my YouTube analytics. Again, it's not mind blowing. It's not, but it is a start. So let's see what I can do for my YouTube analytics here. All right. So I changed my thumbnail strategy. So I'm testing out multiple thumbnails, and that seems to be working pretty good. The video that got the most traction was me talking about my $42,000 month and how it nearly broke my agency. And that's a very real story. Like, it was my biggest client to date, because I've had $10,000 months and stuff like that in other businesses, but with my own 1 to 2 person agency, um, I wasn't anywhere near that. I got $42,000 pretty much in a contract, and the workload and my inability to set boundaries almost drove us into the ground. And it also kind of crystallized to me that agency is not necessarily what I want to be doing. I'd rather teach you guys how to do business and market yourselves, and how to create your own videos and write your own newsletters and drive business to yourselves, as opposed to you bringing me in and doing it for you. I'd rather consult with you and show you how to do it. And so that's what this pivot's about. So as you can see, just the raw numbers, likes and all the other stuff. I'm not chasing virality, if I'm being honest with you guys. That virality stuff doesn't mean anything to me. And that's why I've kind of pivoted away from a lot of shorts driven content, because my shorts perform a lot better, but I think it doesn't necessarily draw in people that are willing to listen to nuance and details and boring stuff about channel growth and doing business and stuff. And so I've been off and on and hot and cold on shorts, but I kind of backed off of shorts for a while. I'm probably going to start reincorporating that once I start getting people to start paying more attention to the long form stuff. All right. So that's where we're at. If you guys are interested, I can show you actual analytics. Okay. So in the last 28 days, I've added 7 subscribers, which is good for me. It's not a big deal for some people. That's a pretty decent deal for me. My views are a little bit down. My watch time is up. And going through here, I'm kind of looking and see what my top content was this period. Of course, it was a short. Okay. Now I can toss the shorts out. The why I almost quit after making $42,000 in 1 month. That's my best performing long form video, and I'm pretty pleased with that one. I need to improve my watch time, so I got to go back and look and see what happens around 201, where people start dropping off, and see if there's something I'm not delivering in that time frame. Same thing with the observations. Why I stopped trying to be someone else. That was really my observations for that first week. I need to see what happened at 247. Just because for me, that is going to be where a lot of golden information is. And it'll allow me to make sure I'm delivering a little bit better. So that's where I'm at. All right, let's get into the meat of why we're here today. All right. So I mentioned that one. Another video that got pretty good traction was my thumbnails suck. And I was being really transparent. Like, my thumbnails weren't converting. And I had pretty much abandoned the idea of even creating thumbnails. Just because I felt like I was investing time into something that wasn't returning. And a lot of it had to do with the fact that I was doing like chat GPT style thumbnails and stuff like that. And it was kind of hit or miss. And I was trying to emulate some of the other bigger creators with the bug eye pointing at something, eyes poked out kind of thumbnail. And that's not really my vibe. And so I felt like it came across disingenuous. And I feel like the audience can kind of gauge that. Okay. Um, let's see. The thing that's clicked with me is this transparency thing. Like I say, I feel like okay. And here's the thing: I know I have a level of expertise, right? Um, being being able to manage a marketing agency for 10 years as a one and sometimes two-person operation is not easy, and I've had pretty good success doing it. But I haven't had success for myself on the YouTube front. I've had success for other people. And so it's hard for me to put myself in that role, in the expert seat, until I am actually able to do it for myself and not just other people. Okay. But this is what the radical honesty, this is what the radical transparency thing is. So now I'm doubling down on that idea and I'm showing you the process of what building this thing looks like while I'm still building it. And I don't ever want to come like right now, I'm not in the mode where I want to come across and say, this is what I'm doing and this is what you should be doing. I'm saying this is what I'm trying. And if you want to try it, knock yourself out. Let's see if we can get some outcomes. Okay. So I've created a stand store that has all my tools and templates. I've created a school community that's focused on teaching people what I know about recording videos and making marketing messages that sell. Okay. And so right now I'm tracking what kind of videos drives clicks and what kind of videos drive subscribers. And I'm testing out how this transparency impacts my engagement. And not trying to emulate like Alex Hormozi or the other juggernauts in this space, because I am nowhere near that right now. I think people are connecting with the building kind of thing. Like they're connecting with the idea of building out. I could be wrong on this one, but I think that that's kind of what people are identifying with, because all of us are in different stages of growth, and we are watching these people at the top, and it's hard to duplicate their success because we don't know what factors tied into it. Okay. Like I said, a lot of success, a lot of the keys to success are actually in the things that didn't work. And a lot of times when we get caught up just watching somebody's highlights, we don't really get a chance to see the things that didn't work that actually created the event for them to be successful. So I'm drawing the blueprint. If that's something you're interested in, that's what this is. Like I said, my numbers aren't huge. Okay. But going from, was it 59 subscribers to I think 63 is a pretty big jump for me. And that's something I'm pretty happy with. That means that I've connected and added a couple of new people in here and they're resonating with the messaging. Okay. So it's not huge numbers, but at least I get a chance to see where they're coming from. Okay. The likes are helping out. It's motivating, but also the likes are showing, hey, people like this content, and so when you like it, it says we can show it to a bigger audience of potential client, potential people who may find some value in this thing. The game with YouTube is um, really trying to position themselves. And this is just my take. I'm just kind of freestyling off top of the head with this one. YouTube is really functionally trying to position itself um, kind of like traditional broadcast television, where you can sell ad time to companies based on viewership. And so the longer people watch a video or the more they engage with it, they know that they can put ads in there and they can bill advertisers for that ad time. And that's the game. And so by creating content that's watchable and bingeable, um, that's how you get people wrapped in. Last night I'm sitting there watching a video of this guy using different size guns to see if, what was it, how many reams of paper can stop a, um, a 50 caliber bullet. Like it was, but I sat there and watched it for like 20 minutes, like just mindless doom scrolling kind of stuff. And so I'm never going to be able to match that kind of content because my stuff does have a lot of boring information in it. But if it has utility, I think people will watch it. All right. So the best part is this is starting to feel a little bit more consistent and not just random acts of posting. I'm still trying to master having a specific time when I post and a specific day of the week that I post. That doesn't necessarily connect for me quite yet. And I don't know if it ever will. My ADHD brain doesn't really identify with that. I'm trying to build a ritual around it so that I can do that stuff. But that's how things get done when you have ADHD is you build rituals. Okay. So what's still broken? I'm still figuring out the thumbnail strategy and the hook. And I'm trying to increase my watch time on my regular videos. People are tuning into the live stream, which is cool. I like that, but I'm still trying to build that piece out. Okay, I don't have the rhythm yet. I post in bursts, and I'm trying to fix that to get to a more normalized schedule. And I'm trying to figure out exactly what kind of content works and what doesn't, because we're still in a super experimental phase. Okay. And once I figure that out, I can build a workflow around that. Um, Again, the goal is, and I'm being transparent, I am trying to pivot from running a marketing agency to making this my business. Okay. Um, there's nothing wrong. If you want to run a marketing agency, you want to start that, that's fine. That's the journey that you want to take. It's not necessarily for me. Um, I'd rather teach people, and I've always been driven to teach. My entire life before this was running residential youth programs. And there was a lot of teaching of behavioral skills and life skills in there. And that's what I'm compelled to do is teach and help people improve their lives. And just selling marketing services, a lot of times it's people just want their marketing done to them. They don't they just want you to come in and just do it for them and not necessarily show them what you're doing and teaching them, hey, this is how you can get some of these outcomes yourself. All right. So that's what I'm doing. Um, Again, my system is the content to cash machine because that's what I'm trying to build for business owners specifically, for people that are looking to get into business. Virality doesn't really mean anything. Yeah, you can have a viral hit video and it can explode your business. You can also have a viral hit video that absolutely tanks your business. I'd rather have you have a consistent audience of people that constantly fuck with you on the day-to-day basis. They constantly like what you do and connect and resonate with what you do, and they become your clients based on that level of trust that you built because you're giving them good, valuable information. I'd rather build that out than have huge viral hits. And so this is not the how to go viral machine. This is the content to cash machine. How do I use content to drive clients? So and so it's basically building that repeatable loop that takes an idea, turns it into a post, and turns it back into something that you can sell or teach. All right. I've shown the stand store already. I can kind of show you what's available in there, and talk about a little bit of strategy that's coming along with why I have what I have in the stand store and what I'm actually working on building. And so let me pop in here and actually show you the stand store I have. All right. So this is my stand store. I need to update. I don't like this profile picture, but I need to update that one. My social is connected to it. All right. I did my course as a stand. I did one of my courses as a standalone course, the content, the cash machine. And basically that teaches you lighting, teaches you mic placement, teaches you how to utilize regular camera or how to utilize your cell phone to get results. Um, and talks about, it gives you some scripts to use, and basically gives you a framework to iterate your videos. So the goal is to get you with the minimal viable video, and then you iterate on that minimum viable video and you get your reps in so that you could get more comfortable being on camera, and getting more comfortable with the concept of talking to your audience. And I'm doing all that before I start, because I'm doing a class about editing, and I'm going to do a class about distribution. I'm probably going to do my classroom about distribution before I do editing, because I think what happens is if I jump right to editing, a lot of people will start the editing and they'll start on that treadmill. And that's a quick way back to that perfectionism trap where you never release anything because nothing's ever good enough. So I'd rather have you create the content and distribute it as is, and get comfortable with your stuff not being exactly the way you want it, if that makes sense. And so, but yeah, this is my standalone course. You will also find this standalone course inside my school community. School community provides a little bit more support where you have a little bit more direct access to me. And if you need more, where I'm kind of holding your hand and walking you through it, I will have special rates, special consulting rates available for people that are interested in that. Okay. Um, I have a one-to-one media clarity audit where I kind of go through your social media and make sure it aligns with your goals. And I even have a tool that I've created that allows you to pick the right platform based on what your needs, experience, and talents are. Okay. And these things kind of go hand in hand. But the media clarity audit is really, hey, this is what my current social media presence is. How can we improve it? Is this even the right social media? Is this the right social media channel or platform for what you want? Okay. Of course, there's the YouTube channel. And then I'm also having a VIP day kind of thing where you get me for 4 to 6 hours and we go through all of it. And I try to teach you everything I know about creating content and marketing yourself in that time frame. I've done it for businesses locally, and so I'm taking the concept online. And so that's what I have so far. I'm going to be putting in more standalone courses in here, and I have a couple of ebooks that I've written a couple years ago about my marketing philosophy, and all the things that I've learned. I'll be putting that in here. But yeah, this is the Stand Store. I like I like it enough where I may just go ahead and give up my website, just because my website is really unfocused, and my website is more conducive for agency work. And it's an expense that I keep having to pay. And so once I figure out how to move my email off of Squarespace, I'm probably going to be shutting down the website and just focusing on utilizing my Stand Store, because I think I like this a little bit better for what I want to do. So, like I said, that's what the Stand Store is. If you're interested, I have plenty of tools in here. If there's anything that you're requesting, let me know and I can build it out for you if it'll help you out. All right. Cool. So, and again, in the Stand Store, the templates thing are templates that I personally created for myself to market for my clients. And so I'm just giving those to, I'm making those available to you. So if you want to purchase them, that's exactly what this is exactly the stuff that I utilize to market for clients. And it doesn't just have like social media templates, it has email templates. It has content calendars. Like, it has a lot of stuff in there that I've used to keep myself on track with marketing for my clients. Okay. It's not a sales pitch. I'm showing you the philosophy of what I'm doing. So what's next? For me today personally is going to be taking this live stream video and condensing it down, chopping out all the filler and making it an actual YouTube video and posting it and creating the thumbnail for it, and seeing how that works. And then I'm going to be recording some more digital courses, specifically probably the distribution course. And I may even go into a little bit of what my strategy is using Substack and LinkedIn newsletters to drive clients, because I've had success with doing that. But what's next is sitting down and editing this video and then kind of going through what the numbers on the live stream are telling me. Okay. But yeah, if you're looking to build your own version, just keep watching and I'll show you what happens, whether it works or not. Follow along with me, because this is kind of what the journey is, guys. And I really hope that I'm delivering that value, and maybe you can watch what I do and duplicate what works for me and avoid the things that didn't work for me. And you can kind of build out your own content to cash machine. So that's what I got. If you got any questions or anything, anytime I'm on a live stream, I'm just say this, anytime I'm on a live stream, if you have a marketing question, I'm going to do my best to answer it. If you have a strategy question, I'm going to do my best to answer it. I don't hold things back when I'm on live streams. I know a lot of people will hold stuff back and say, hey, well, you got to pay for all this stuff. If I can answer it and I feel like I can give you a good substantive answer, then that's what I'm going to do. So if you see me on the live stream, that's what I'm going to do. Once I start getting my school community populated the way I want to, um, once I get that populated the way I want to, I'm going to be doing live streams exclusively in there, and I'll be doing those during my office hours, and it'll just be kind of an open time for people to ask me, uh, the logistics of lighting, audio, video stuff, and also the basics of marketing stuff. So, you know, that's what these live streams are for, and that was the purpose of it. So I do appreciate everybody tuning in. If you're interested in my toolkit, it's going to be an ever-growing thing. Just check out my stand store, and you guys will see all my tools as I build them out. If there's any requests for tools or anything, I can even build some custom stuff for you. Just let me know. But anyway, this has been Brian with the Unstuck Sessions and the Content to Cash Machine. I do appreciate y'all hanging out with me and let me sit here and chop it up about boring marketing stuff and numbers and stuff. I'll be back. You guys will see me probably on Friday in another live stream talking about how this video performed. So talk to you guys later. Peace.